Hello everybody, this is the Richter-Veresov attack. So white plays knight c3 instead of the usual c4, and often the idea is to play bishop g5 after knight f6. This opening doesn't have a lot of theory in it. Black can play knight d7, knight b d7, or e6, or bishop f5, or c6, or even c5, and with different plans. So I'd like to just know a little bit about this opening because it fascinates me. So really good seems to be c5 immediately. Also, the most common knight b d7 is good. So let's look what white can do if black plays c5. A good move here is just knight f3, calmly just developing. Something like bishop takes f6 or e3 don't work so well. Let's look at knight f3. Here, uh, black usually plays knight c6, forces white to react once more, and now e3 is okay. But this is pretty good for black. He can play bishop g4, and this is really good results for black. Look how he has pressure on the center, and white's play is a little bit cramped. Let's try to find other ways for white to fight this. Actually, there's not so many. He can play e4, and then knight takes e4 and d5. Well, this is an okay option for white. White has been winning in these games, so in case of c5, it's perhaps good to remember this e4 idea. What other ideas does black have? Well, the most common is knight b d7, just supporting that knight in case of, I don't know, some captures, and also supporting the possible e5, I guess, which white usually prevents here by playing knight f3. And then black can play g6 or e6, developing this bishop either on this diagonal or this. Also h6 gives good results for black, actually. That is the strongest move here, and white does well by retreating it to f4, changing the diagonal, controlling e5 instead of in case of any e5 ideas from black. And here c6 is common, e4, black can play knight h5. There's not so many games from this position, so perhaps it's not very informative. But let's see what could happen with the most played line. This is quite drawish, but black has a slight edge, so maybe due to the fact that, you know, black has the c-pawn at his disposal, white doesn't. White opted for quick development, you know, pressure on d5, and enabling e4 with this knight c3 move. But the handicap is that he doesn't have the c4 push or even c3, which usually in the d4 openings is played. Usually c4. It's like white's privilege. So here c5, c6 from black are good. c5 looks a little bit scary for white. What's white going to do? He doesn't want to take on c5 because black takes with the knight, gets closer to white's position, and so that's why he plays rook e1. This is quite a played line, and here bishop b6, not giving up the central control. I mean, if black plays c4, that's possible. It kicks the bishop, but it also diminishes the central control. So then black is kind of forced to play here, you know, maybe b5, b4, a5, a4, something like that, b3, and e4 becomes stronger because then d5 is the root pawn with c4, d5, and white's gonna play e4 anyway, so that's maybe one of the reasons why c4 is not on the cards with black. And here b6, enabling bishop b7, because this bishop is going to have play anyway. Like, look at this, these pawns are going to get exchanged, so this bishop will be operating on this diagonal just fine. Just like in the Queen's Gambit, we can often see that this bishop is going here, or if it doesn't have scope there, it can come to e6, for example, or sometimes g4. So now white's game is a little bit better all of the sudden. If he's able to not fall for some common mistakes in this opening. Knight takes e4, bishop takes e4, and this is quite drawish. It's not an interesting position actually, but it was interesting to see how we got from the quite uncommon opening position to quite drawish ending position, and this has scored better for white incidentally, and I don't know if it really is better for white. It's probably equal, but yeah, this is something to be um, expecting. This is something that white should go for. Just exchange pawns in the center and utilize that small advantage in time that white has, and maybe even exchange the dark square bishops, because otherwise black might have ideas of b4, you know, hacking the into the b2 pawn, maybe opening this diagonal with the pawns or something like that. So yeah, I'm not gonna go any further into this particular variation or this position in this opening, because that would be more like middle game study, and I'll probably make a series of that later. But for now, I think this is enough for this rare opening. Thanks for watching. Take care.